Hello everybody, this is Vincent from Elegant and Vintage Entertainment, and today we're going to take a look at the Warm Audio WA47. Now, over the years on this channel, we've had a lot of fun playing around with both budget microphones and some really high-end microphones. But every now and then you find a budget mic that's actually really good for the money. The WA47 is Warm Audio's 47 style offering. And let me tell you, for the price, it's pretty darn good. So what we're going to do today is kind of recreate the shootout I did with the Signal Art Electronics 48, where I had the SAE 48, the Fleet 47, and my blue Bottle Rocket Stage 2 with the B7 capsule. Now we're going to use the blue as sort of the reference mic so that you can take a listen to this and then go back and listen to those and kind of get an idea of what they all might sound like compared to one another. Obviously, it's been about a year since I recorded that first one, so there's going to be some differences, but this should give you a reference point if you want to hear kind of what this sounds like next to the Flea or maybe the Signal Arts. Now the interesting thing is that Chad from Signal Art Electronics also had a huge hand in designing this microphone for Warm when he worked there. So that's kind of fun to think about. Let's take a listen. We're going to listen to some Sibilance Test with just, jingling my keys so you can hear how it handles something like that. We're going to hear a jazz setting, and then we're going to hear an operatic setting. So let's take a listen, and then we'll talk about it. The falling leaves drift by the window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I feel your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. The falling leaves drift by the window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I feel your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. The falling leaves drift by the window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I feel your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. The falling leaves drift by the window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I feel your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. Ora pro nobis, nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Amen. Ora pro nobis, nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. So now that we've taken a listen to it, if you haven't already, go back and check out my Signal Art Electronics 48 shootout. It's all the same samples, although, we redid it. They're about a year apart. But all the settings were matched. I keep a log, so we're able to match the setting on the blue, the gain setting, and then try to match this as close as possible to those. So they all should be pretty close, and I'm going to use the same mix settings, minus some EQ moves, to make it sound as close as possible to that, so it's kind of like a continuation of that shootout. But I gotta say, after I've had this in my studio thanks to a good friend of mine, thank you Mike for lending it to me, I've had this in my studio for a few months, and I've tried it on my voice in a bunch of different settings, and I've tried it on a couple of different things, and I gotta say, when you consider that if you go to eBay or Reverb, that you can find this mic for like $650, $700, this thing is incredible at that price point. Now, if you were to put it next to, like a Flea 47 or a Heiserman 47 or one of the Telefunkens or the Wonders, you're going to hear it lacks a little bit of a polish. It almost has an exaggerated 47 sound. It's a little bit more compressed, so the headroom's a little different. But ultimately, you do get that kind of 47-ish sound from a $700 microphone. So, if you're here to find out if this thing is going to sound like, U47-ish for you at this price point, it definitely is. And that's something that's really hard to say. I've had, I used to own the Peluso 2247 LE. And of course, I have a video previously with the Advanced Audio CM48T. I got to be honest, I prefer this to both of them. If you would compare it to the 48T, honestly, had kind of its own sound, and while it was in the 47, 48-ish family, it wasn't as close as this was. It had its own sound, which was very, very good. This thing sounds more like you'd expect a 47 to sound. Now, in comparison to my Peluso, the Peluso is very similar. It's just a little bit brighter of a microphone and lacks a little bit of the low end. This thing has an exaggerated low end. It actually is more low end than you would actually expect from a vintage model. And I think that's one of the reasons it has more of that compression sound. It's got this bump on the bottom end. But anyway, I actually think it's a really great mic for the price. Now, if you were paying double, you'd want it to have a little bit more polish, more like the Signal Art, more like the Flea or the Heiserman. But if you went to Reverb right now and grabbed this for $700, I think you'd be in pretty good shape. If, of course, the 47 is the mic that works for you. It doesn't work for everything. But, I've been debating grabbing one of these myself. If I had a jazz project where I needed an extra mic for, say, the upright or a baritone saxophone or, something where you'd put a 47 and it would shine, this thing would be great. Anyway, I hope you like the samples. Again, take a listen to them. Listen to the original Signal Art Electronics shootout that I did, and you're really going to get an idea of what this thing really sounds like, what the Signal Art sounds like, what the Flea sounds like, and how they all compare to each other, because they're all kind of different price points, with this being, closer to $1,000 and the Signal Art being, closer to $2,000, and of course the Flea being, $3+. So, take a listen for yourself, see what you think. Now the blue I think actually sounds pretty good on its own, although it does lack some of the qualities. That's one of the things with those microphone systems, when you're changing caps, whether it's the Corby or the Blue, it never hits any of them really right on the head. It gives you usually a clean sounding body and a tuned capsule that'll, help you get close to that sound. And honestly, I use the Blue the same way I would use this if I had it, which is just if I need kind of a 47-ish mic and I've got my, I've got the two Flea 49s here, and if they're being taken by something, well then the Blue goes out and it does the job. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So please leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you like videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and tune in. Join us again next time. Thanks so much.